gonna be real hard to sync that when we're not in sync. Like, all right, 1, 2, 3.
That's pretty good.
That's gonna be good. That's gonna have to be good enough.
All right.
All right. So, first off, all right, fuck you.
Oh. Okay.
You fucking bitch. You're offline the whole fucking day, and then you message me at 6 and ask, "Are we still doing this?" As if like I'm the fucking problem here.
That's not what I insinuated, like, at all. Just you didn't say anything prior. I wanted to be the guy to bring it up, make sure it was still going on. I didn't do anything wrong. really going for the throat right from the gate.
Yeah. I don't like your tone.
My tone.
Coming out of nowhere. You were not only were you offline the whole day, you're offline like the past like 2 or 3 days.
It was like a day and a half.
And you hit me with that. Fucking despicable.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's getting absurdly hot in my room extremely quickly.
Yeah, probably
these
because
fans on.
it's like disgusting out. Just like isn't appropriate weather for November.
70 degrees out.
Isn't that funny? Like 70 degrees, no wind. Sun like approaching closer, like the moon in Majora's Mask.
Earth is being shifted off of its gravitational axis, approaching the sun, accelerating global warming.
Fault lines are just separating at alarming speeds.
Volcanoes are erupting. Scientists are saying that Yellowstone is going to go up any day now.
Scientists dead.
Every single one of them.
Every scientist found dead. It's like a Vox article.
No one's still sure why, but leading cause might be suicide.
Might be. They have like 3 bullets in like the back of their heads.
All mysteriously found in like food processing plants.
All ruled out to be like death by drowning.
Self-hung.
Erroneously like tied to suicide. That's what they get. Ugh. Although I guess in terms of stupid science, there's something that I wanted to bring up, which I don't even remember if I've ever brought this up before. But you know how like the evolutionary lineage of whales is like so well understood?
Yes.
Why is it like not the case for like any other animal? Like why can I look up like whale evolution and find like all these like every single creature from like the protozoa to the rat to the fucking like baleen whale? But if I looked up like evolutionary lineage of a dog, you're not gonna get like anything. Like you'd really have to hunt for it.
Probably. I don't know. I guess because whales are cool. That's what I get. Dolphins have fucking pussy juice, so.
That's true.
So
But-
they really are like a top contender for like the most studied animal just because of that alone.
But like not a single other famous animal like has anything even close to the whale like that we can like demonstrate.
I guess you just got lucky with like fossils preserved.
It's like
But I guess people also just wanted to know because it's like they're these big giant creatures that live in the ocean but aren't fish. Like how common is that? Aside from being incredibly common because there's also sea lions. But
incredibly common actually. It's like they outnumber like regular fish, I think.
yeah.
There's like what, like six
There's
billion sea
actually-
lions like in
There's,
like off the
there's
coast
actually
alone.
more like ocean-dwelling mammals than there are fish at this point, actually.
Yeah.
Really taken over.
It's a real
It's like
mess.
when like wizards took over like the amphibian niche like 500 million years ago. They just like mammals just do it better.
Just one fell swoop. Yo, speaking of sea creatures in one fell swoop, did you hear about the crab article like a month and a half ago?
Crab article.
Yeah. Apparently
This isn't gonna be the whole like crabs are like the perfect evolution thing,
No,
right? Like
no.
everything's evolving to be crabs.
It's something way more dumb. It's actually like kind of like a big deal. Apparently, like 1 billion Alaskan crabs
Oh
are like
yeah,
unaccounted for.
yeah, and that like the crab season is like over. Like they canceled it this year.
Because all like 1 billion crabs gone in the blink of an eye.
Disappeared off the coast of Alaska.
Like that's some
Strangely
shit.
enough, there was a lot of scientists in Alaska too at the same time. They all disappeared.
Suspect foul play.
Every single one. Maybe that has something to do with it. Every single billionaire is also killing themselves now that they can't eat crab legs.
No crab legs, no scientists. 2022 was really just like this underhanded year for the crab sciences.
It's an underhanded year for you. You must have forgotten also about all the volcanoes like fucking erupting. Everything is just going to hell.
Everything's falling apart.
No gas, no diesel, no crabs.
No
How am I gonna
crabs.
get crabs at the gas station now?
Yeah, where can I get like my disgusting gas station crabs and crate them?
With my gas station caviar and champagne.
Eventually, once like gas becomes like Fallout levels of like expensive, like they'll just become the new like lords over us feudal serfs.
We'll all be working the oil wells.
We'll all be working the oil wells, and every single gas station will have its own unique like card.
A gas reward card.
Yeah, we're gonna go back to like medieval currencies, like everyone's kind of like fighting to have like their own thing.
It's gonna be like what were those like those towns called in like the early industrial where like you got like currency from the company to like buy things
Yeah.
in the town.
You're gonna get gas station script that you can only buy like their bullshit with.
You can go down to the speedway to buy their food that you earn by selling them the oil you collect in your backyard.
That'd be such a stupid like dystopia premise. The gas stations came out on top.
It's so stupid too, because like gas is like such like a rare thing to actually like find. Like when you like drill for it, there's no guarantee you're actually gonna hit anything. You just have to guess. Like
Just gotta guess. So it's like it's either the world ends up like Animal Crossing, where just every day there's like renewable fossil fuels in like the form of like dinosaurs in my backyard all day, or everyone just like there's like another like Scramble for Africa, where you'll go to like Uganda or wherever to dig up that like 2 billion like 2 billion mile large pit of oil they discovered or something stupid.
did they discover that? I didn't hear about that. I did hear that that Ukraine also just discovered like a huge like oil reserve.
Yeah,
Like towards like the border with Poland, they discovered like a huge like just natural like oil reserve.
considering how like vital this shit is to economies and how much people want money, it's a miracle this shit hasn't been like discovered already.
There's always just more dinosaurs. There's always a bigger fish.
It's always a bigger fish. You just like it's like in those like cartoon depictions where like it does like the little cutaway side view of them like going underground, and like the farther you go you start seeing like a T-Rex skeleton, and there's like an alien like UFO, and it like keeps going.
Yeah, just going down like the natural elevator.
I'm gonna turn every whale to oil. I think that's what we gotta bring back.
Gotta bring back like blubber
Yeah, we need to bring back like
and shit. What's like the like whale oil called? I forget.
Oh god, I should remember this, but I don't.
Cause that's like, isn't that the shit that gives sperm whales their name?
Yeah.
Cause like Europeans were harvesting it for like hundreds of years, and they legitimately thought that it was like sperm the entire time. Like the same shit that they were using to make lamps. Just because it's like this white, like viscous fluid inside of the whale. What's that shit called?
I remember it having like a stupid name that might have had sperm in it. I
We
do
need to go back to kerosene lamps.
kerosene. I mean, I'm pretty sure I've read something that like blue whales have been found with like microplastics in them. Like they're like eating like an insane amount of microplastics like a day now.
I'm pretty sure every fucking living organism has microplastics at this point.
Just so over for like.
And
those...
they found shit at the bottom of Mariana's Trench, right? Like
probably.
Their shit is everywhere now. It only took us 100 years to completely fuck everything up.
Can you imagine being like a creature that's evolved to live in Mariana's Trench? Like, you know, it's pitch black. You can't see. You can't feel. You can only sense. You just don't move all day, so you can conserve energy with your mouth wide open, and you just eat like a 6-pack, and just choke and die.
I thought you were gonna say, can you imagine being like this creature that evolved to live like all the, like that deep down, no sunlight at all. There's no light anywhere, and one day, just some fucking dickhead in like a submarine just like blinds you with a fucking like solar flare.
Yeah, all of a sudden you just like see nothing but white, and all of your like sensory organs are on like fucking hyperdrive.
And then, like, once your eyes finally readjust, you just see some guy with his mouth wide open looking at you.
Yeah, you see, like, the 5, like, scientists and, like, the 1, like, token scientist woman, you know, before they all, like, die, because, you know, that's just what's been going on. And there's pointing at you. Then they're also, like, making, like, the submersible, like, point at you with, like, its little, like, middle finger.
They have the little, like, soy, like, KFC chicken, like, soy nuggets.
Yeah, they're eating, like, the Beyond Beef, just having a blast.
Not even looking at you, they're taking selfies with you in the background.
Taking selfies
Like, you get, like,
you.
sucked into the submarine propeller.
It's like, you know, you're so terrified of this that you, like, you have to expend, like, a week's worth of energy. And then
try to get away.
Yeah, try to get away, and then you get, like, you stop moving, hit the ground, and get eaten by worms. You just get consumed by those, like, nasty little, like, barnacle worms that feed on, like, whale skeletons. And, you know, talking about, like, getting chopped up into the propeller, is that, like, a reference to, like, that nasty, like, black, like, squid creature that got chewed up by a propeller on one of those, like, submarine streams?
No.
Have you ever seen that?
I don't think so.
So, it was kind of like, I don't even, like, know what it was. Submarine zooms in on this creature. It looks like a black star, and it had to have been some kind of, like, octopus or something, some kind of cephalopod. And it starts changing shape. I think it jets out ink, and then it gets sucked up by the propeller and just chewed up into like 1 billion pieces. It was like some like newly discovered thing, and it just immediately got ripped apart. Like the submarine didn't even like try to get out of the way.
Probably like didn't have time to react.
I wonder how many things have like gone like have been like decimated that way.
So stupid, dude. And this is like a fucking newly discovered creature. Just imagine being the fucking like biologist in charge, discovering this new creature just to instantly kill it.
You know, and then like you're watching the YouTube video of like it getting chewed up, and you know, like top comment 16,000 likes. Like, can we just appreciate how well this creature got chewed up by those propellers? That is so cool. It's like,
that was so satisfying.
That was so satisfying. And then there's like the one, like, 5-paragraph one where it's like, thank you so much for uploading these videos. I've been going through a rough patch lately, and seeing that little black creature get chewed up by the propellers really made my day. Thank you so much. Have that be like a whole genre. That'll be like the next big thing. It'll be propeller videos. From manatees to sturgeons to like little black like octopus getting chewed up.
Like it's gonna start out. You're gonna have all these live streams of all these like underwater things of it like just happening by accident, and then you're gonna have like Indonesian and Filipino like YouTubers that are just gonna be like taking like dogs off the street and throwing them into propellers.
Yeah, like these Southeast Asian people who like perfectly capitalize on the moment. They've managed to completely turn into an efficient process. They have a speedboat, and they just buy every creature they can find. They're just hooking them in. It's like, wow, like satisfying propeller kill compilation 2022.
primitive propeller building.
Yeah, primitive propeller technology channel. It's gonna be like, it's gonna have 40 million subscribers, and the thumbnail is gonna be like, it's gonna be like an entire like blue whale sliced in half by by like a cargo tanker.
Catching the dangerous cassowary, the primitive propeller.
Primitive propeller. Yeah, like each one has like 100 million views. Like, wow, this is so satisfying. And like a year later, it's like primitive propeller is a scam.
Yeah, like like these stages that always looks like it's like an animal in the wild that they're capturing, but in the like reality, they're just like going down to the wet market and like buying one in a cage.
Buying one in a cage. They're not even like bringing the boat out into the water. They like have it in like a pool somewhere. So it's like this creature doesn't even like have a chance to escape. It's gonna like die from like chlorinated water.
They have like 3 hours of like just stock footage that they made of them on the boat just to like put in every video.
You know, you think it'd be like possible if like they played it off as like an accident, like that
Every single one was an accident.
Yeah, like they played off.
It's like very clearly like a fucking Indonesian guy with like a puppy like in his arms, just like tossing it into the propeller. Toggle title of it's like dog walks into boat propeller.
Dog accidentally swims the boat propeller. Primitive
Like
propeller idea.
The dog is in the water with a rope around it, and they're on the boat pulling it towards the propeller.
It's playing like stock like tense music, like bum 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 ba bum bum ba. Like they have like a GoPro attached to the dog.
As it attached like the first part that's gonna hit the propeller, like the back end, like so you get to see the whole
Yeah, like it keeps like swapping between the two views. And you know the thumbnail is like the dog like mid being like decapitated with a big red circle like pointing at it.
like an arrow.
Yeah, an arrow pointing right at it. And there's like the two Indian guys pointing at the dead dog. Now, how long do you think like YouTube would take to act like on that? Or you think those videos would just like stay up?
How many views do they get?
I would say
that's the question.
I'd say between like 10 and 50 million views.
Then
each.
they'd never go. Then YouTube's not gonna do anything about it. 100%. YouTube will do nothing about it.
YouTube has its like
as
cash
long as
cow.
those things like somehow make AdSense, like YouTube will let that shit stay up.
And you know, like companies would like be giving these dudes like sponsorship deals. Like they literally do not care. Like like they're like testing on animals. they don't see anything wrong with this.
Just cuts halfway through, like when they're finding the animal, to them like on their phone, like scrolling through like Alibaba.
Like someone's gonna like they'll make a video that's uploaded to like the like primitive propeller idea is a scam. They got like amateur video found on Twitter of like a Motorola representative like gifting them like animals to like chew up.
Raid Shadow Legends is like sending them exotic animals.
It really becomes like a new like gladiatorial like arena thing. Like people go out of their way to like find exotic animals to like, but instead of like sending them out to kill people, they send them out to be chewed up by a propeller.
It goes to this whole thing of like African black market like poachers like supplying rare exotic animals to Indonesian YouTubers so they can throw them into propellers.
That's gonna be the new big thing. It's like people are fine with like mukbang. They're fine with people like eating themselves to death. They're fine with them like just like doing all this crazy stuff, like like hydraulic press videos where they like blow up a grenade or something.
Like puppy dog hydraulic.
Yeah,
press.
like
that's what the hydraulic press YouTube industry turns into.
Yeah, with the onset of the propeller.
To try to compete with the propeller, they start putting live animals under the press.
They're like a new Korean channel. It's like squishy like animal idea, and
they hydraulic press them and then they mukbang them afterwards. Bring in an entire cow and put its head in the fucking press.
My stupid microphone accidentally turned off. There we go.
Yeah,
but that would be like an insane change. Just like all of a sudden, YouTube just starts getting like very violent. They have a huge like change in like content policy. They start re-enabling comments on like kids videos. and like
bring back the pedophiles.
yeah, the
Like,
pedophile.
completely unrelated to the violence. They just
They bring back the pedophiles, and there's like a whole there's like a YouTube thing like at the top left, like you know how they have like the little like custom YouTube banner top left to represent like whatever like fake holiday they come up with.
yeah.
Where, you know like first like Siberian man's like shit on a blender day, and like this one will just be like new content policy day where it's like, hi YouTubers, today we'd like to talk about a change in our content policy. You may be familiar with the way we stop pedophiles from conversing with children on their videos. You'll be happy to know we've removed this. You know, then it does like the outro.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, like the slow burn. Like that's why they got rid of like the dislike, like being able to see how many dislikes are on a video. It's because like this long plan to bring back pedophiles to YouTube.
And then like right after that, you know, YouTube has like they have like the YouTube Rewind 2022, and like half of the videos are just like animal kills. You know, like
half of it's animal kills, and the other half are like ill-gotten like 8-year-old dance rehearsals.
PewDiePie isn't even like in it. Top 5 YouTubers are like not even like they refuse to participate. Instead of just all these guys just, you know, with the propellers and like bloody animal heads hanging from hooks. Like it's just it's like it's fucking disgusting. But it's like the most viewed one ever. YouTube goes out of their way to like not only bring back like pedophilia, but they also just like completely fake the likes. They bring back the like and dislikes, but it's just like 100 million likes on everything they want. 0 dislikes. Like every time you press dislike, it adds to the like bar. Instead,
every
like
time you press dislike, it suddenly like the notification pops up at the top of your like browser. It says like YouTube wants to know your location.
yeah, YouTube would like to know your location. Can you please sign this waiver so you can be like turned into like Propeller Chow?
Yeah.
I don't know, like I guess like as like stupid as it is, like, you know, could you find yourself laughing like if someone like put like an entire alligator in like a hydraulic press and like you just watched like this huge metal rod slowly come down and crush this like stupid animal? It's like just not moving.
Is it already dead or is it still living?
No, it's like alive. It's like doing that like alligator thing where it just like sits there with its mouth open, blissfully unaware of like, you know, what like
about to happen.
yeah, and like by the time it makes contact, it's like already over.
Well, that's the thing, like, you and me might not find that entertaining, but someone is going to comment on it and say, like, wow, that was so calming. That really, that was so satisfying to watch.
I fall asleep to this. 30-minute, like, head crush hydraulic press idea video. 'Cause it always has to have, like, idea at the end of it. That's what they always had.
Fucking 10-minute video of, like, a cow, like, slowly getting its skull crushed by hydraulic press. It's just fucking wailing the entire time, making as much noise as possible. And it's just like, man, these videos are so calming. They really help me get to sleep at night. It's just so satisfying.
Yeah, and then there's like a timer, like, you know, 29 seconds, like the way the cow screamed for its life, LMAO. And you know, because the reason why I keep bringing up like the idea thing, because like, you know, like once like primitive technology hit it big, I remember like one of the next biggest channels was like primitive technology idea, or it's like primitive construction idea. But you know, like what if instead of just like, you know, bringing in like their stupid excavators to build like slides out of mud, what if it actually was like primitive construction? Like what if there was like 100 Egyptians out in like loincloths, like building like mud daub like walls,
like, ropes and pulleys, and like everything's manual labor.
It's all manual labor. There's like a guy whipping people as they like move like huge limestone blocks across logs.
Go back to slavery instantly.
They can slave in them, and then there's a whole new genre that comes out to combat primitive technology, where it's primitive raiding.
Like a separate group of Indonesian filmmakers like get like bronze swords and like raid their camps for like their food stores.
They're like building siege towers, and they like show up onto their sets and like try to kill them.
Now, like, are the raid ones, like, are they videos or are they always, like, live streams?
I think it'd be funnier if they're like videos, as if like they like really had like an entire production like set making these things.
Alright, what if they don't have videos at all, and it's like you're watching the primitive construction videos, and it was like day 23, like we were attacked by the raiders. Just completely out of nowhere.
Part 23, we were attacked by raiders. Yeah. A top comment, 36,000 views. Like, this is really helping me through a rough patch when I was raided by the sea peoples. My mud huts did not stand a chance to their siege engines.
Just thinking about it too, like primitive construction. They're moving like all these like stones and rocks around, and then like halfway through the video, it's just like
an arrow comes in and kills somebody.
I was thinking that. I was just thinking like there's just like a part in the middle of the video where it's all the workers just sitting around eating like
really old
and,
bread.
Yeah, like really old bread, like cornmeal, just like just grains, no nothing else.
It's like a 7-hour video of these people doing this, and then like out of like nowhere, it's like dusk. They're all eating like their disgusting gruel and slop, and all of a sudden like
the war horn goes off.
Yeah, exactly. And I was exactly what I was gonna say. Like all of a sudden they start like, and they all like turn like simultaneously. One of them starts ringing a bell and like screaming in like an ancient tongue, like Hasray, Hasray, and like they all make a jump for the walls. I'd be like too good for YouTube's own like business. Oh.
Suddenly these like men you've never seen before with like bronze armor like come out of like some of the houses on set and like form a shield wall. There's like a storm of arrows descend upon the camp.
It's really killing people. Primitive construction and primitive raiding. It really becomes like the next like PewDiePie versus T-Series.
Like who can get more subscribers? But considering the primitive construction doesn't seem to have that many fighters, I don't think they're gonna last nearly as long.
They just build. They don't really know what to do.
Eventually the two are gonna merge, because like the raiders are just gonna like take the constructors as like slaves.
like in the middle of it, like, while they're defending, like there's like there's arrows coming in, there's a battering ram like smacking down the walls, and then like you see one guy like sweating his ass off. He's covered in boar tusk armor, and he comes over to the camera and he's holding up the Manscaped like box. He's looking to get the product deal in. Like the raiders, like the arrows have like ads like taped onto them. It's just like sick. And is this all still happening in like Southeast Asia? Like is this all still happening in like the Philippines?
It's gotta be. That's the only place where like these primitive channels exist. Like, where else is this gonna happen? Like that's also the only part, like one of the only parts of the world that still have like uncontacted tribes. Like...
But like, are these people like uncontacted tribes, or are they just pretending to be?
I don't know.
They're pretending to be like Mycenaean raiders. Oh man, I would watch that.
Yeah, I'd watch people get fucking slaughtered.
Like, could you imagine that? Like, this is like actual, like historical depiction of these assholes killing each other with medieval methods, like just like ancient methods, but like you're completely taken out of the action when they pull off like an ad. Like an ad read.
I just imagine too, like it gets sponsored by HelloFresh, but it's like only like the camera crew is like doing the sponsorship. Like all the workers are in the background. They're all like you see their rib cages. They're still eating the same gruel that they had the day before. And then it's like the guards and the camera crew are like making HelloFresh.
Like like how many primitive channels are there until like it just becomes like one primitive lordship.
Primitive civilization.
Primitive civilization channel. like this eventually like a
They
king
start
emerges.
conquering each other, like after the fucking like YouTube age collapse, or like the raiders just destroy like 90% of them.
Yeah, after the
They
Bronze
start
Age
forming,
update.
like empires.
Yeah, the Bronze Age update where like YouTube's just only showing this type of content. Like regular content creators, you know, streamers, Let's Players, they're completely left in the dust. The YouTube algorithm is leaving them penniless. Like they're forced to take up arms.
They have to start killing people to like try to meet the same quota, but since they have like access to like guns, it just doesn't feel the same.
It's like 2025. Markiplier's like crying his eyes out in a loincloth, like building like a mud hut, desperately trying to like appeal to the new algorithm.
But he's like too scared to kill somebody.
He's too scared to so like he can't bring himself to become like a primitive raider. He's like a primitive builder, and then like I don't know, like Tobuscus comes out with like a musketoon and blows his head off.
Tobuscus comes out with like a fucking like a deerskin headdress with the blood of like fucking shit. I can't think of anyone else right now.
That's like the two YouTubers, like Markiplier and
That's
Tobuscus.
it.
Like that's what happens. You know, like Smosh and Digahiga, like they like like they're the first to go. Like Smosh like tried to become like primitive raiders, but they had no idea what they were doing. Like they tried to make like a raiding channel. Like like they have the gaming channel, they have like the Smosh in French, and then
they
like
moved all like 10 of their like interns out to the middle of nowhere to try to like build, and they all just starved to death in the woods.
they have no idea what they're doing. Like they set up the camera, they're live streaming, they're scared. They can barely set up a fire with like a match. And they're just like hearing calls in the woods.
Night falls, and all they hear is like howling and like growling.
Like blissfully unaware that it's other YouTubers. On the underbrush. Oh man.
Suddenly, Tobuscus just comes out of the bush with like Critical's just like skin. Like he's just wearing it. He has a stone hatchet in one hand and like a leather skin shield in the other.
Yeah, who would even like come out on top? Because I feel like, you know, like all like the top people, like I don't know, like I don't think they're like success would
I don't
translate.
think any of them are fighters.
Yeah,
I guess the one that's probably gonna make it, sad to say, is gonna be like Logan Paul, because he like actually like works out and does like boxing. Like,
yeah, but like
he knows how to fight. Like,
yeah, like is boxing gonna translate when like someone throws like an atlatl spear at his chest?
but do you think any of these other YouTubers are gonna be making spears to begin with?
Like who knows? Like that's the thing. It's gonna be like this weird time where like all of the huge players, they're all like Let's Player streamer type people, and you're gonna have like all of like the lesser people that maybe get like a viral video of like 1 million views, like someone like who does like blacksmithing, or you know someone you know does like you know like okay, shoots like arrows at like medieval like armor replicas, like tests like arrowheads or something. Like those people are gonna flourish. They're gonna become like cold cut murderers. They're gonna be the highwaymen.
Like Scalagrim just like instantly goes to like killing people.
Just doesn't waste a second. He needs to get that YouTube revenue.
He has like all this training in like medieval weaponry. He just instantly goes for it.
Start killing people.
As long as like the Indonesians never show, because I'm assuming all these people are still filming in America. So like they're gonna be like safe for like a little bit. Like one of them is gonna make that initial jump into like raiding, and then it's just gonna go to hell from there.
Yeah, until like just wait till like primitive colonialism idea comes out. They reach the new world.
I was thinking more on like lines of just imagine you're like on like a hiking trip. You're going to like to the like Yellowstone, like that like area. You're like just walking through the woods. You hear like a scuffle, and like you peer through the brush, and you just see like anti-Asian getting beaten to death.
They're just like tearing them apart. Oh my god. Anti-Asian, like yeah, he's getting like He's getting like blood eagled. Like people are like trying to adapt to like different like medieval different like ancient cultures to try to like get an upper hand, and then the Indonesians arrive on like the west coast. They got like,
they sailed there. They built fucking Polynesian like
rafts.
rafts, and they sailed across the Pacific.
The age of sail arrived. The age of sail idea arrives, and like they hit the west coast. They land in Los Angeles, and they have like a tiny drone capturing footage. They're all dressed up, and they're like handing out like smallpox blankets to like the homeless. Oh man, it's just taking them down.
They start a new like triangular trade.
Once again, like the enslavement's coming back.
They're like taking people from Los Angeles and like sailing them to like back to Indonesia to build for them.
They're selling them back to Indonesia to like build like stone huts. Like they're finally up to like they're starting to build like stone fortifications. Indonesia's so far ahead in the game.
Building like star forts.
That's like too far ahead. They just jumped like another like 500 years. Star forts and cannons.
One day, some random YouTuber makes like the fucking like the Raider channel expos, where like they show that they're using like diggers to make the star forts.
Yeah, they're utilizing excavators. Like it's like. It's like some British guys like, so they are clearly working in bad faith. They are not using primitive methods to construct the fortifications. You can clearly see the tracks of the excavator. And then like,
it's like, where did all the slaves go?
Yeah, where did all the slaves go? And then as he's like explaining like these primitive raider channels, like, and like he like looks, there's like a flaming arrow that like went into like his house, and he unfurls the note. It just says like, we're coming for you.
I thought with the sound you made that like he got hit in the shoulder by it.
Yeah, the arrow goes right through his window and takes him down.
One of the few YouTubers who didn't get into the survival scene. He's just still in like his gamer cave.
And what's so stupid about that is, I know it's like slightly off topic, but I did see a video recently where I think it was like an Italian guy who he killed somebody with a bow and arrow that I think he made because he was being too noisy outside his house.
What?
Yeah, the guy was like filming, he's like crying his eyes out. He's like, why did you shoot? And the guy was like, you're too noisy. And he's like, he's holding the bow in his hand in his second floor apartment.
He's really ahead of his time.
He's ahead of his time. Like, people are prepared to just murder people with bows and arrows. I think this is untapped potential. It's gonna awaken the warrior spirit. Like,
it's like the mountain climber guy in fucking South Korea.
Yeah.
Ancient mountain climbing genetics.
Ancient mountain climbing idea.
Genetics. Once there's monetary incentive to do it, you're just gonna instantly like kill your neighbor.
And are like these Western countries just like accepting this, that like all these like famous YouTubers are starting this like horrific murderous trend where like, they're just like building forts in the woods and like killing people.
Considering like what else like the entertainment industry gets away with, I'd say that like they're not gonna do much about it. Unless it does get to like the slave trade part where like they're landing on the coast of like Los Angeles and like going inland to like capture people. I think if it stays between YouTubers, they'd probably let the blood sports keep going.
And then like kids like they want to grow up and be like vloggers. Now all of a sudden like stores and malls are just packed with like knives and like actual like little weapons, like leather armor. Like they want to grow up to be like a famous raider. They don't want to like get into like the few YouTubers that like didn't make it out, like Markiplier and like PewDiePie, like the big ones are just the first to go. They're just like forever chastised. You don't want to be a Markiplier in the age of sail.
I wonder how PewDiePie won, considering he lives like in like Sweden, one of the most like developed nations on the planet. Like, what raider got to him?
Like this was like,
was it fucking like the golden one or whatever that guy is called?
Yeah.
Like, that fucking like ultra right like Swedish YouTuber.
Yeah, the gold one arrives on a long ship.
He fucking his first action Just tracking PewDiePie down.
Your guy's on a long ship, starts throwing like axes at his mansion.
Like PewDiePie wasn't even like in this like YouTube scene. He was still like living in his fucking like upscale, and this like Viking shows up and kills him. I hope he was streaming when it happened.
Streaming. What's up, bros? I just... And then you just see, like, outside the house...
Axe comes off screen and nails him in the back of the head. He just falls face first on his desk.
Primitive,
just for
like...
the next, like, half hour, you just slowly hear the sound of, like, burning, like, getting, like, louder and louder.
And then later, the golden one, after, like, he picks up the axe, like, out of his body, and he's like, thank you for watching, and then it cuts to, like, the outro, it's like, click for more epic kills.
Trying to find all the valuables.
Yeah, he's got a big burlap sack.
Takes his, like, gold, like, play button.
Takes the gold play button, he has it, like, melted down into a crown. Primitive pillage idea. And like, what becomes of like T-series? I think they still are like #1 right now.
Or don't they only upload like movie like clips and like trailers?
Yeah, but like think about it, like literally every single Indian on the face of this earth is subscribed to T-series. So like imagine what would happen when the algorithm completely like obliterates their view count, because like nobody wants to like look at like Bollywood anymore. They want to watch like kills.
Probably get desperate. I imagine like they probably have a lot of like interns that work for them to like get these like clips and whatever and upload them like constantly. So like they're probably just gonna go into like a fucking like Hunger Games scenario or some shit like that.
Yeah,
they're like... gonna gather up all their interns and like last man standing.
To like Chandra Gupta like pulls up and they gotta like all of a sudden they just start like
primitive empire idea.
India's embroiled in a medieval civil war. It like stops being about like YouTube. It's real.
Just very quickly becomes a geopolitical matter.
It's a geopolitical matter, and like Pakistan thinks it's like a real thing. You go to like a preemptive nuclear strike on Delhi. And it's instead of like issuing like instead of the United Nations issuing some kind of like proclamation of like humanitarian rights abuse, instead they just let the YouTubers go wild and like enter India.
Like everyone's flocking there now.
Yeah, like the Scramble for India idea.
Nation. India completely opens its borders to all primitive invaders.
Like
It's
willingly.
like the new like Indo-European like migration. All like European YouTubers are traveling by foot like through the Middle East to get to India.
They're traveling, it's like an 8-month journey, and they finally arrive.
They're all on chariots.
like slaughtering Indians. Like slaughtering Indians, you get 10% off on like Manscaped.
They're leaving like info packets of like different like sponsors along the way. Why do they even need money at this point when they like take everything? Like, what are they buying?
That's because I'd like to imagine that like none of them like living like this. Like when they're done murdering and building, they go back to like their houses,
to their condos.
Yeah. Like, can you imagine? They're all fighting, and then all of a sudden there's just like a Roman legion arrives, and like all of their standard like flag banners, they all just say like, instead of saying like SPQR, and all, like it's like ads on each flag.
Dollar Shave Club.
Yeah, Dollar Shave Club. It's like Dollar Shave Club.
ESC, and it's like the stupid like shaver in a circle like on the banner.
Yeah, they're like all carrying that, like marching in unison.
At the helm is like Mike Matei with his like olive reef like headdress.
Yeah, because like I feel like what would happen is like advertisers, like they would basically become like they're like the papacy. Like
You gotta get their blessing.
yeah. You know, they get their blessing. They're the ones like giving you money to conduct these like crusades against like other countries. Like they would have all the money because like the primitive murder idea of like whatever the hell's going on anymore is like so lucrative. It's so insane. Like these advertisers no longer being like filled with the, like, U.S. dollars or whatnot. They're getting like tangible assets in the form of like gold from plunders. So like the money that they're giving these YouTubers is like insane, and they're able to fund these state funded primitive militaries.
Hey, what's up, bros? My name is PewDiePie.
He's alive.
Take a look at that monastery over there, bro.
Take a look at that monastery over there, bro. And he just blows into like a horn.
30 men like come in from off screen, like charging it.
And this brings up a good idea. Would the YouTubers utilize their like subscriber count as like a conscription?
It's like an army.
Yeah. Like if that was the
You
case.
just have like a bunch of children.
But can you imagine though, like PewDiePie, like what's he got, like 100 million subscribers, like 100 million people ready to like die by the sword for PewDiePie.
But that's the thing, you can't have like 100 million like raider army. Like big armies have to be sustained off of agriculture.
So that's to be like a clean balance between like the primitive like agriculture idea, where like they pretend that they're growing agriculture like medieval people, but they're just faking it using real like modern techniques.
PewDiePie and his army of starving children like coming on longboats off the coast of like Penang in fucking Thailand just to find like an empty barren field.
Like, they're supposed to be like doing like it's supposed to be like terrace farming like rice. They're like they're primitive techniques, and the primitive agriculture exposed. They're actually using combine harvesters to harvest this rice by the truckload. That's not nice.
PewDiePie posted on Twitter and said, "At the primitive farming site now, there's nothing here. God help us."
We will not survive the journey home, bros.
PewDiePie was quickly captured by his legion of children and ripped apart for food.
Decimated.
Was grabbed by each limb, pulled apart, and cooked by his own army to try to sustain them for as long as they could.
Oh no, here's a good question. Like, what would become of all those like massive like kids channels that like only get their revenue from like nursery rhymes?
I feel like, considering they're already like not in a mentally good space, they're probably gonna be the quickest to turn into raiders, and they're gonna be the most efficient at it too. Those people have no morals, no souls. They will kill for whatever it takes. They will do whatever it takes to be popular, and I don't think they're above killing at the slightest.
Yeah, dude, they'd be like the orcs from like Lord of the Rings. They'd literally be bred for war.
They all take off like their Spider-Man and Elsa costumes, and they just have these like disfigured like gray faces.
Like the
they assemble at nighttime.
Imagine like terrifying that is.
They don't even like just slash you with a sword and kill you. They bite into your neck and rip a chunk out.
Oh my god.
Eat you alive.
So I guess in this world, do you think there'd be like more like primitive raider idea type channels than like the ones that actually are attempting agriculture and like true civilization?
I think that, well, it depends on if those ones like channels are actually real or not. Are they like getting exposed and fake, or are they like actually trying?
Okay, the ones that reach big, they'd have to be like faking it, because like you can't do that like for real and like make it like get that much money. But like they're still killing people, so like what are you gonna do to expose them?
I feel like at some point like the civilization ones would just like band together and actually form like alliances. to try to protect themselves from these fucking raiders. It looks like most people resorted to raiding pretty fucking quickly.
They're given like primitive amnesty idea to like return to civilization, and that they won't be like sent to the stockades and killed for their crimes, like Blackbeard.
City-state alliance idea.
It's getting serious.
They're forming like leagues, like in fucking like ancient Greece.
And like, is there like a set age that they're all following, or are, like people cheating and like using like guns? Are they all strictly like at like an Iron Age?
I think it'd have to be, because it is primitive after all. I don't think too many people would be like interested if they just pulled up with a gun one day.
It's like everyone gets like really pissed. They pull out a gun. Like even like blunderbusses, like a matchlocks, arquebuses, they're like frowned upon. Like we're not at that age, bro. You get canceled if you're out of your age.
You shoot someone.
Just completely taken off of Twitter. Reddit's like got downvoted because I used a rapier.
Yeah, you could hack off like one of their whims with a sword and like slowly have them bleed to death on camera, but the second there's like a bullet wound, where's that exposed? Or it's like Raider idea exposed, and it's like they claim to have attacked and slaughtered this camp with iron swords, but here on this body you can clearly see a bullet hole in the head.
They're not even like sticking to a theme. They're just murderers. They're just sick people.
Not like they shoot them in the head first, and then like they like hack their dead bodies with swords, and like they try to play it off as like a raid when they really just pulled up and shot everybody.
Like the only thing I can think of that'd be able to stop this is like if YouTube changed their like content policy again and they like banned channels that like faked faked their primitiveness. But I also think it'd be really funny if they just had done nothing since like the pedophile thing.
Like YouTube has been completely silent.
They have
Nobody
not said a
has
word.
seen like Susan Wojcicki in like years. Like...
He's underground trying to wait out this horrible trend. Just blissfully unaware that it's not going anywhere. Oh man, it just like all this came from like the primitive propeller idea. You think that would be still going? You think they'd be like
primitive propeller is long since like dead at this point. They probably joined the Raiders.
Like there's a like primitive hieroglyph idea where like, you could like see some people do like have written history on like the propellers, but it's mostly lost.
There start to be like fucking like historian channels, like primitive archaeology like idea.
Yeah, it's a guy pointing at a Rosetta Stone.
Trying to find like the ancient roots, like the lost propeller of civilization.
It was like kickstarted it all.
It's like Mycenaean Greeks. It's like these ancient people had a completely different like ad revenue source. And we still don't understand.
We still don't understand. From what we can gather, they seem to use large bladed, like cylindrical objects to destroy animals.
This must have been an ancient cooking ritual.
This must have been an ancient cooking idea.
Everything is always an idea.
I mean, yeah, it's like I said, you look it up, primitive construction idea, like, primitive house building technique idea. It's just like funnier to add that at the end.
Here we see Asian Andy with his back skin completely flayed open and his lungs hanging above his chest. This seems to be an ancient execution idea.
A spiritual execution idea to please the god idea.
Please the All-Father idea.
Like, people are just like, like, are people like getting into it, or is this still like just all like a scheme to them? Like kind of like how like Nikito Avocado like supposedly like isn't like it's a character to him, but like he plays it off like it's really his life. Like, is that what these people are doing? Like, is it all just like an occupation to them?
I think it started off that way. and then like it just like I think once they killed their first like construction worker,
Yeah, my first
like
blood.
once that then it became a lifestyle. Like
Raider lifestyle channel.
I also just had the thought of like how do like new YouTubers like start in this world?
You need like you need a kill. You need like a high profile kill to like get viral.
Yeah, like being a top YouTuber is suddenly like the most dangerous job. Cause like there's like a legion of like 17-year-olds that are trying to kill you at all times.
They want you dead. It's like the knockout game like just blows up. It's like the kill game. There's bounties up on Twitter. They're paying like handsome prices in gold and silver for the heads of top YouTubers. I don't know. I'd assume maybe advertisers. They're the ones putting up the bounties.
What do they gain?
Well, think about it. They had a champion to get money for them. It's like I slayed. I took out Asian Andy.
I'm the guy that fucking bloody-oiled him in the woods.
I bloodied him in the woods, and now I wear his skull as like a necklace. and now I'm being funded by Raid Shadow Legends. I'm being given gold per month to finance my scheme, my evil empire.
Why would they not just like fund the big YouTube? Why do they put out bounties?
Well, it's because you know what? It's like Palpatine and like Vader. Like he's constantly sending like assassins to like test him and kill him to make sure he's like still like up to snuff. That's what the advertisers are doing. They need to make sure that their champions are profitable in the long run. And if they can't like defend themselves against like an up and coming like fighter, then it's time to jump ship. It's on the jump ship idea.
Yeah, abandoning the raider lifestyle idea, like embracing pastoralism idea.
Pastoralism idea. And then there's like the Sentinelese Islander idea. they're streaming.
I figured a bunch of YouTubers were just like sailing to the island to like take them down.
Trying to take them down, blissfully unaware that they had been like live streaming like since like the Propeller days.
Who gave them computers?
Nobody knows, but like some say that they saw like ShopRite brand like advertisements like on the boxes.
They saw the bowl and basket.
It's like Bed Bath and Beyond.
Logo.
Like Raytheon, like Boeing, like top like military contractors are getting involved. They've completely halted production of like F-35s, like Abram engines. They're now fully churning out like iron spears and leather armor.
Yeah. Sure. Today we're gonna be raiding the Markiplier camp. First, shout out to today's sponsor who made this video possible. Look at this finely crafted iron spear from Lockheed Martin.
Yeah, like iron
Look
spear
at the
unboxing. Unboxing like a gladiatorial like helmet from Raytheon. It's like, wow, look at the craftsmanship. He like puts it on. Like, I'm totally gonna kill somebody.
If somebody hits me in the head with an arrow, this helmet will definitely stop it. The craftsmanship is unparalleled. If you want to be a raider just like me, be sure to head over to lockheedmartin.com / fucking shit.
Yeah.
I'm not even doing a YouTuber voice, shit.
/ like Raider Lifestyle XX for 10% off. 10% off a Warrior's headdress.
A fine helmet, but you'll be helping out the channel.
Make sure to smash that notification bell, hit that subscribe button, please, it helps me. I found that only 40% of my viewers are actively involved in the Raider lifestyle. It would really make my day better if you could go to my Patreon to fund my blood conquest.
Fund my evil empire.
To fund my evil empire. And like channels, fuck, who made the channel made like Baby Shark. Like I think we brought up before, all those channels that made like nursery rhymes, like the ones that didn't become like the bloodthirsty raiders. They're like putting out They're they're putting out like religious militant music for like kids.
They're putting out war chants,
Gregorian chants.
like slamming on like huge drums.
Yeah, it's like
20 guys in the background going like, whoa.
yeah, like Pink Fong all of a sudden puts out like a one. It's like a 2 billion viewed video where it's like Honoré, like they're singing like the entirety of like the Epic of Gilgamesh, but it still has like the little animated characters. And since it's like a kids video, there's like people in the comment section like putting out phone numbers like to like get kids. Like nobody like cares about that anymore.
Forgot about that.
It's like still happening in the background. A real sick part. And like all these like warrior like type cultures that have sprouted, like none of them are even attempting to stop like the huge uptick in pedophilia that's swept the world.
I did just realize though that like YouTuber like grooming would probably like stop in this timeline though.
Yeah, because it wouldn't be grooming
like,
anymore. There'd be concubines.
Yeah, they would be like taking people hostage, like forcing them to be like war wives.
War wives, like prisoner swap idea. It'd be like it would be like news on like on like stupid little like drama channels, like Keemstar is talking about like a high profile trade that happened between like YouTubers. I know like Video Game Donkey was like just like released from like the Philippines, like for like an undisclosed amount of like ducats. He was like still trying to make like gaming videos.
He's like the only one.
He's the only one. So
Primitive
Raiders
he got taken prisoner and like Leah got like sold off. It's just like some random other channel.
Yeah, like Leah B captured, like presumed concubine.
Nobody's safe. Even the YouTubers that try to stay out of the fucking like out of the rating get raided.
Neutrality is just so frowned upon.
Centrism is just completely like eradicated. Everybody hates them now.
Like, so that brings up a question: is there any type of like alternative like YouTube content that's like available that isn't tied to like primitive living?
I don't think so.
It's like
if
nothing
they're
left.
raiding people who aren't even involved at this point, then I don't think there's any other way.
Okay, then what happens to, I bring it a full circle. What about like those like science live streams? Those people, taking selfies with the creatures that they decimated in the propellers. Like what's happening to like these universities, science teams, people, like I don't know, education channels, like government channels, like the White House.
Out on their boats in the ocean. The White House.
Yeah. Like, what are they doing?
Like, fucking Biden's giving a speech. He's giving a press conference, and like a Secret Service member like walks over and like whispers in his ear. He's like, I gotta go.
Joe Biden's standing up on his podium.
You just hear like very like faintly in the background of the microphone like whistle arrows like hitting the roof.
Yeah, it's like a White House live stream has begun. It only has like 12 like watchers because like since they're not like a Raider channel,
cares.
yeah, like nobody cares. And like the live stream starts, Biden's sitting on like on a throne, and there's two like U.S. Marines both holding like pikes, like flanking him. He's like giving his speech like, I'm here to talk about the Raider dilemma. This has gone unchecked for too long. And then I guess then the arrow thing happens. Like, oh, gets taken out by volley fire.
Here, we've captured
Markiplier. Oh, I got Sherma.
One of the most blood-hungry YouTubers to ever exist.
Sherma's like a
but
gall.
If he wants so much money from these sponsors, then we'll give him all the gold he wants. He just pours like molten gold on top of his head. Here's your crown.
Here's your crown. It's like if he thinks that if Germa thinks that it's a good idea to kill the innocent, then he can fight for his freedom in the arena.
Lower the gates.
It all comes back full circle, doesn't it?
And once the White House gets involved in the primitive raiding sensation, it's really over. They're sending like SEAL Team 6 with like bow and arrows and spears to like capture YouTubers.
SEAL Team 6 are like mounted knights. like the noble
Yeah.
clergy. Fucking around. That is all just such a stupid tangent.
Yeah.
Just thinking about like from the beginning, where just, like the people in the loincloths, like, the war horns. Like I was like the call heard around the world. Like once the Filipinos saw how profitable it was, that was the end, wasn't it?
Everyone adopted it.
Everyone adopted it, because that's just like how it works on YouTube. It's like if you do something, you know, like
You can start a trend. If you do something new and it gains a decent amount of views, every other person will do exactly what you did.
they'll do exactly what you do. And like, I don't know if have you ever seen those really dumb like Chinese ads on YouTube? Like I don't know if you like even have like ads on your phone or like
On my phone, yeah, I don't know, fucking computer.
have you ever seen those like dumb Chinese ads on YouTube videos where it's like protect the dog from the bees?
Yes, I've seen those.
Where you know it has like the really awful like Chinese guy singing like row row your boat and he can't
Yeah.
sing it because like he's not English. I've noticed
Yes.
like that's like the perfect example, like tailing all this back, is because like at first it was like I noticed it was a game called like X Hero, and like that's where those ads are coming from, and I like looked at it. Turns out like that like dog like thing that's like not even like part of the game. It's like bullshit they cocked up, and then I found there was other videos where it was the same thing, different dogs being attacked by bees with the same music, and they were all different games. They were all born around that original ad. There's just now there's just hundreds of these Chinese games that are about protecting like the Doge dog from bees.
I've only ever seen the one.
Yeah, they exist now. I've seen like several. Like that's how fast these fuckers are.
You ever see the one where they just straight up draw like a swastika?
I have not seen that.
There is one. I think I saw it on Facebook. I think it was probably in a fucking group, honestly, but I did see like an actual like ad for one of those where they straight up drew like a fucking swastika over the dog.
Gently down the stream.
Maui, Maui, Maui.
Maui. And like he doesn't even know the rest of the line, so he just says like gently down the stream again. It's so bad. Like that's just what advertising is. Just you know, they just go to China, put out these videos that just blatantly steal like copyrighted material. I've seen ones that just like have like the Super Mario Brothers theme song and like assets, like just showing like Super Mario Brothers or like Age of Empires.
The fucking Age of Empires ones are awful.
Yeah, and, you know they're in China, so they get away with it. And, like you know, YouTube's not gonna turn down that money.
You know what I've been seeing a lot of recently? I've been seeing a lot of like TikTok ads on YouTube. And they're always just like the most fucking like low quality shit every single time. Which for one, just the idea of there being TikTok ads on YouTube is like the fucking bewildering to me. Because like that'd be like if you bought a can of Coke and there was like an ad space on it for Pepsi. like TikTok is like one of YouTube's biggest competitors right now in the terms of like video like creator websites, and they're like advertising. They paid off YouTube to let them advertise on their website. It's just like bewildering.
Just when you're that scummy, you know, like money is all that matters in the long run.
But then like these ads, it'll be like a dog carrying a stick, and it will be like a stock sound clip of a guy laughing played twice over. Like, I don't know if you've seen those ones. It'll just
not.
like, it's a dog with a stick. It'll be a guy going huh, 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 huh. And like, that's it. That's the entire ad.
That's all it takes. Well, it's because, you know, like, they don't need quality for the ads. Some of them are banking on the idea that they're horrible because they know that YouTubers, like, who fill the niche community of like exposing bad YouTube ads, give them publicity. It's like, it's so crazy, like how much it spirals down.
I've never seen a YouTuber critiquing ads.
They,
I'm gonna be completely
they exist.
honest
If
with
you look it up, like craziest bad ads of like 2022, and they have like millions of views. Just, you know, we're not like 7 years old, so like we don't get recommended that stuff ever. That's what happens. They like I said, they bank on it being bad because people call it out for being bad, and then it just raises the like revenue. They have it all figured out.
This is amazing. Like, TikTok could do anything because of how much money they had. I think they'd get a lot more people clicking on their site with those ads if they just showed like those fucking like e-girls that make TikTok.
That is true.
Like, millions of people would click on that, but instead they have a dog laying on the ground getting dragged by its leash. And then once again, like, a stock sound of someone laughing played twice over. Like, it's very clearly the same soundbite.
I'm gonna guess, like, when it comes to like sexualized content, like YouTube still like doesn't let those ads fly because they're, you know, really trying to adhere to
It doesn't
that.
even have to be sexualized. Like, would we just be like a girl like dancing?
That's
like,
also true.
People will get horny and click on it.
That is very true.
Especially considering that most of YouTube's like people who watch YouTube are fucking children, like teenagers.
just you wait. It's like TikTok really just brings in like the fucking horny bait.
Would we be easy? They would 100% get more people on their site doing that, like having those ads. Because there's going to be two main groups of people who are going to click on it. It's going to be like young teenagers who are just like horny out of their fucking minds, and like old fucking creeps. Like,
old creep idea.
child wife idea.
Child exploitation idea. Thank you, YouTube. Like, thank you, media conglomerate.
Keemstar daughter betrothal idea.
Oh my god.
Like making the Keemstar alliance.
It's just more like niche channels meant to just target like individuals.
I thought that was like gonna be like the name of the video.
Oh, when I hear idea, I'm thinking it's like another like channel from Indonesia. Oh god, you know, it makes me think like how fast like stuff like this would actually unfold if, like, God forbid, like the Raider idea bullshit actually like happened. Like if that was like allowed. It's like,
yeah, just suddenly YouTube completely undoes its community standards and allows like actual murder on their website. And it all just starts with the dislike ratio being taken down.
dislikes go out, comments reinstated for kids' videos, and then they're set.
And then murder.
And then murder. Like the only thing you get banned for is like still just like copyrighted material.
Yeah, if you have 5 seconds of any song playing in your video,
You're permanently banned.
instantly. You don't even get strikes anymore.
That'll fucking convince you.
Copyright like abusals would be through the roof if that were the case. Instantly claim copyright on someone else and get them taken down.
Get them taken
You wouldn't
down.
even need to like kill them anymore.
YouTube's like, you know, YouTube final say.
Just settle your disputes and
In the
fucking
ring.
combat.
Set them out in the field.
That's when Susan Wojcicki finally makes her comeback as CEO of YouTube.
Actually, you know,
She acts as fucking Imperator up in the stands.
and actually, you know what happened? Like, okay, going back to the whole, like raider civilization, primitive idea thing.
Going back, I don't think we ever got away from it.
We did like briefly, is that there'd be YouTubers who would be like analyzing like the troop movements. They'd make like whole videos where they'd like,
it's like those like ancient like battle like tactician videos.
yeah, like those would be everywhere.
Like gods and generals or whatever that channel's called.
Yeah.
It'd be like an analytics of the tactics and strategies used. But it's all based off of like real current
like,
happening events.
Like analyzing Mr. Beast's incursion into India. They have like little arrows like indicating
Dudes
like
from
his
the start,
march.
question mark, question mark, question mark. Like the thumbnail is Mr. Beast like head on a pike being carried by like some random Indian
Be
man.
carried off by a warband. Mr. Beast. That's like the funny thing. Is like most people have like some of these people have enough money to like genuinely live on an island and just like escape this shit forever. I think it's like really funny that they would just like dive into it head first.
Of like no like prior experience.
No prior experience.
Most of them don't look like they've ever fucking like lifted anything heavier than a pen in their life. Like they're all willing to go to India to try to like become a king.
Mr. Beast, like I could see him like actually like attempting to do it. He just like doesn't know any better. He has like so much money and he doesn't really know what like death is.
What does that mean?
Like I just imagine like he's like so untouchable that he just like has this like cult of personality. Like he genuinely thinks that like
he's 100% sniffing his own farts.
Yeah, like he really like he really thinks life is like like rainbows and sunshine.
He thinks like he is like he is God. He thinks that like life is his plaything.
He has like a
because he just surrounds himself by yes men. So he legitimately like let it get to his head, and he thinks that like he is untouchable.
He forms like a king god cult of personality, and like the second like catapults start firing, he breaks down.
He's like fucking Caligula. Like...
I mean, no one left. Like all of the famous named YouTubers would be dead. It would just all be new people. Very few like named ones that actually like made it out alive. They'd be like the progenitors, like they were like the originals.
Yeah, there's it's like all the other like forgotten people in history who didn't make it. It's like the other members of like the triumvirate. Like they tried and they failed.
They're like, does that mean they're also like performing like high profile like marriages
to get alliances?
Yeah, to get alliances.
How many YouTubers have children?
Probably
Keemstar.
Yeah,
like
Keemstar.
That's it.
But once this all happens, they're gonna be having kids left and right. Especially with like the concubine situation.
That's the thing. Can you still get alliance with concubine children?
You can if you completely fake the lineage with deep fakes.
That's how you prove the legitimacy of your children now. You just have to like film the conception.
They're just completely faking it. Expose videos on like fake children.
They can't even fuck their own like captured concubines. They can't do anything.
You keep getting exposed. Like, who's doing all the killing and pillaging? Like, is it becoming so bad that they're like green screening themselves into battle while like they hire like mercenaries to kill in their name while they're like just like living in their mansion? Maybe that's what would happen.
Yeah, they hire mercenaries to go out and do the work for them. And they just have a studio where like the person who claims to be like the leader of the channel just like films himself like every like few days.
That's how that would go.
Here you can clearly see like Chandragupta II, I guess he prefers to be called. Like, he's clearly on the same horse in this video and this video in the same position.
It's like if we look at the noise filter, we can clearly see areas that were blatantly photoshopped in. This is green screen, ladies and gentlemen. He was not at this battle.
See how his arm disappears in this cut? Almost as if it's a green screen.
It'll be like one of those videos where, you know, it's like the thumbnail, it's like all black and it's got like, you know, Mr. Beast, he's like wearing his helmet, and the name of the channel will be like the problem with Mr. Beast's latest pillage, and then like it'll be white text on the thumbnail. It says like he wasn't there.
Question mark, question mark, question mark.
Yeah, it's like it wasn't real. It's like, what is up, everybody? We want to tell you all about the new exposed drama with Mr. Beast. He claimed on Twitter that he was leading his war band into the Los Angeles area to fight back the Filipino horde. But in fact, he was lounging at his mansion.
If you check the geolocation on his tweet, it says here that he is in Silicon Valley.
Yeah, watching his warband do everything for him from the comfort of a 5-star hotel. That's when they have to like, you know, make like they have to petition the advertisers to put out a hit on these YouTubers for being fake.
They start getting canceled.
Oh yeah.
Canceling just immediately resolves in death now.
Yeah, that's like what the term means. To be canceled means to be executed by the state.
Brought before your sponsors.
And the Holy Roman Advertiser like comes out and puts you down. You know, you think would they all like agree to like a set time to like advance in age, or would just like people naturally start like advancing slowly and they would like naturally start picking up on it, like just like in real life, like it would like
they like exponentially advance.
Oh, that'd be like so bullshit. Like ideas would spread instantly because they're all just watching videos from across the world. It wouldn't be like gunpowder that would like have to like slowly ship to like Europe. And they keep the technology hidden. Perpetually stuck in an iron age because everyone's too afraid to advance. They know exactly what it would bring.
I guess that's a real question. Do they advance, or are they all like too scared to advance?
Yeah, it's kind of like mutually assured destruction. They all know for a fact that if they advanced, it would just become like one massive gang war. They'd just be killing each other with guns and artillery. Although, I mean, it's not much better with bows and arrows and like throwing spears. You can still be killed at any time, and now it's much more personal. YouTube has to completely rebrand. Just all it is now. No more cat videos. No more viral video sensations. No more Crazy Frog.
Crazy Frog was banned.
No more Fred. No more Ray William Johnson.
Crazy Frog mysteriously stopped uploading. Like, what people don't know is he got fucking executed.
Got executed. And yeah, he faked his warband. Like, what if Fred like made it?
Is Fred even still uploading?
Is he still alive?
Is that like his like comeback to YouTube?
Where he becomes Lord Frederick.
How the fuck did he like get a following?
he made
Lord Frederick the First.
Yeah, he get a cult following when he like completely murdered Ray William Johnson with an axe live on stream. like naked and then covered himself in the blood while screaming.
Well, in character as Fred.
The people loved it, and that was his rebound. It's like William Johnson dead. You know, he was busy making like Facebook shorts where he'd like shoot an arrow into like a crowd of people. That's like what would become of like TikTok and of like the shorter form like Vine type like things. It'll be like really short things, like be showing off like their loot, their latest pillage, their sword, maybe like showing like a quick technique, and it'll be the people who just like show their rating.
If you were ambushed by a YouTuber, do this one simple trick to save your own life.
To save your own life. It's like if you have a sword to your throat, here's one simple technique to parry. That shit really would explode.
I think we need to be the ones
Oh boy.
to propagate this new style of content creation.
But if that's the case, like,
what are we doing on here?
I don't know.
We need to track someone down and execute them on live stream.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is, like, do we have to like go to the Philippines, like, first and foremost, and start like?
Yes.
Like, we need to
find that. We need to be the progenitors. We need to find these like primitive construction YouTubers. We need to find them making their underground like pools.
their underground craziest secret pool. And then they hear the horn.
And suddenly they're like
ambushed.
Ancient lineage like comes through and they know what's about to happen.
Yeah, more like the status quo would just be like upheld, and they would just mysteriously stop uploading, and nobody like ever would report on it. Everyone would be scared out of their wits. Not a single person would join in. That's like the sad reality.
Yeah, it truly is sad that no one else would just instantly become a fucking
brigand
murderer.
Gosh, beats me. I don't know why they're just missing out. Smosh.
I have no idea why no one else would want to join in. I think plenty of people. I think plenty of people would want to become marauders on YouTube.
Yeah, like, you know, it's like the midterms, and Donald Trump comes out on stage. And he's like, I've heard about the marauders, the brigands, the highwaymen. And I think what they're doing is cool. When I see these primitive construction ideas, my heart starts to beat. I get upset. I get mad.
I get rid of the face people. Let me tell you.
I'm gonna get rid of them. I've learned how to throw a good sling.
I feel a really hard thump in my forehead when I see them. I just get so mad. I get so mad. My eye starts to twitch a little bit, and my left side of my face gets a little numb. My doctor tells me I'm 100% healthy. I'm
so healthy.
He has no idea.
You know, I want to wrap it up here. We have, I think that was plenty good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at like my ideal list here. I didn't even get to a single one.
Hey, I just shit we get to use for next time. We snowballed that off of like 2 things.
Yeah. I mean, there's only gonna be shit that's gonna get cut out probably, but.
Yeah, but that was like really good.
Time.
Okay, I'm good. I'm want to do like a count to 3 then stop, I guess.
It doesn't really matter.
Alright, I'm gonna stop.
I'm gonna stop. Yeah.